Hello, hi, welcome everyone. So today another new video, that is what I'm creating. So today's topic is like football, right? So today I have decided to make this video on football and the commencement of Indian Super League like 2 days before, and Indian Super League and the start of the new season. So basically we have crossed like 10 years of Indian Super League have been means already completed. Now after 10 years, where we stand basically, and what is the impact of Indian Super League. So everything we'll be discussing in this video, so I like everyone to stay tuned to this video, and to I request everyone to like watch the video till the very end. And to all the sports lover and all those people who are very much willing to discuss about sports and football and everything, so definitely they would I would request everyone to like comment in the comment box, and also to like the video, share the videos, and subscribe to my channel, as I always mention like in each and every video, right? So before I begin, so I would like to go back into the history of ISL, like once it started like 10 years before. So what was the basically the means the perception of football lovers, or like the ambition of football lovers fans, like what is going to be this new tournament, because we already had tournaments like I League and all that was running in the country. But like once the ISL was launched, and everywhere like there was a huge amount of hype being created, because we were expecting something like we would be having a tournament of that much magnitude of like English Premier League or La Liga or like Bundesliga, like that are played in England, UK, and or like Spain or like Germany, or these kind of countries who dominate the European football scenario. So we were like expecting something like that to happen, and there was a whole lot of anticipation, a whole lot of like prospect being at that time. It was being thought that the tournament will be reaching this much amount of magnitude and all. But unfortunately, the tournament has not reached that much amount of means the magnitude have not that much big and all. But also I say hats off to the Indian Football Federation, and also to the committee of Indian Super League, to bring this season back to back each and every single year, and to like invest so much, and to air this tournament, and to promote this tournament, so that that is extremely beneficial for our country and for those football lovers who love to watch football. And yes, definitely we are having the live streaming and the broadcast of English Premier League also. So but at the same time, the Indian Super League, and that is Indian English Premier League, is also like there are like regional languages also. You can opt for those regional languages. You, if you wish to watch English Premier League like in Bengali, you can do that, and in some other South Indian languages like Kannada or like Telugu, I exactly don't remember, that you also can switch for that. So that gives like a homely kind of a feeling, like yes, we are watching English Premier League, and we are watching the best football tournament, and that is also we are watching in our own language. But at the same time, it is like I would like to mention like the Indian Super League, being an Indian, when we are like watching Indian football, so that is also a great amount of satisfaction. It brings amount of big amount of satisfaction. And most importantly is like the schedule and the timing and everything are so much suitable for us. Like in a case of once we are trying to catch up with English Premier League, we need to stay awake like good matches that can also be coming at like more than at around 12:30 p.m. or like 1:30 p.m. also. That can be the Indian Standard Time, when those matches are going to be streamed or like aired, like right. So that is what is like, we being an Indian, and there is no point like putting emphasis on why we would be really willing to watch Indian Super League, or there will be a whole lot of means participation of viewers and all to watch Indian Super League. But the point of making this video is like, somehow there are like a whole lot of means people who love football, they may feel this way, that the Indian Super League is not that much good, or that is not up to the mark, or it is not up to the par, like it is not that much of quality football is what we are witnessing like each and every year. And the standard of football have not really increased, or the football, the entire like the quality of football have not developed that much. So we are still lingering at that stage where like 20 years back, 25 years back, where we were. And the league is also that not that much popular, because it stretches around more than 6 months and all, and there are like matches coming like each and every day in the evening. So there is not that much amount of means time for everyone, or that not that much amount of craze is not created like what is created in IPL. Like IPL now being more than 2 months kind of a event, it's near about 3 months kind of event now, so that is bringing in whole lot of craze and all. You definitely, sports lovers, cricket lovers, would definitely tune in and would like to watch like IPL once the matches starts, basically from 7:30. Similarly, Indian Super League also the matches starts from 7:30, but the viewership, the entire amount of viewing is like a bit less, and is quite less, that's for certain. But it is to be kept in mind is like Indian Super League is the topmost league in India, is the most elite league in India. So we are having multiple leagues that are happening, like in Kolkata there is a Kolkata Premier League also happening, and also like there is this Durand Cup happening, and there is also like this I League also happening. Now the teams which are playing in I League, they are not playing in ISL, so that is a relegation kind of a thing. So once with the team tops in I League and all, they are shifting to the ISL scenario. Like we see that Punjab FC is one team similar to like who have won or who are topped in the I League, and they have now shifted into the ISL scenario. Similarly, Modern Sportings is also shifted to the ISL scenario. So these teams are now playing in the ISL. So ISL is the most Premier League, means the most elite league, like gold standard for Indian football, right? So I would like to mention few things like what development and what importance means ISL holds in the country, in the context of football in our country. So like if we see like presently the quality of football, some people may differ with my opinions and all, that Indian football have not reached that much amount of means quality, or we have still in that kind of a scenario like 30 years before what scenario was existing in the country. ISL have not made any changes, or some may also refer to a point like Indian football have like deteriorated with the ISL being held like more than 6 months and all, and there's a whole lot amount of fatigue also coming in, and nothing like strategy or like nothing as per quality has changed and all. But I definitely would differ in this kind of a statement if anyone is making, because I would definitely means I personally have been watching ISL for many seasons now, and I also watch for means India's qualifier games for World Cup, and also the other matches for Team India in football and all. So the main difference that I have seen in the after the means starting of IPL, ISL, I'm sorry for that, Indian Super League, and after like it has reached like 7 seasons or 8 seasons onwards, I definitely watch this change in the entire football means scenario for Indian football. We would remember like once we used to play with the greatest teams of Asia, like Iraq or Iran or other teams, and we used to be getting defeated by them with a major amount of like goal difference, or it used to be some kind of ashamed kind of a situation. Like we used to get defeated with from 10 more than 10 goals also, for like the 12, 13, 14 goals we used to I mean concede and all, right? But now if you see like in tough matches in World Cup qualifiers also, it is not getting possible for us this year also, that we could beat teams back to back and we could move to the second round for World Cup qualifier. But the way we are playing football, the way we have developed as a nation, and our attitude and our entirely our perception toward football have changed in this way, is like we are now building means play, and we are now making things happen in the football ground. And we are, first thing is that we are not afraid of, there is not that technical means technical deficiency, like technical skill deficiency and all. These things are not at all now, nowadays these are not like lacking in our football scenario. Like once the match is starting, if we are playing against Iraq, if you are playing against Iran, if you are playing against top countries like in Asia, so we see that we are also having good amount of ball possession, right? We are having good amount of ball possession in our means in our end. We are playing in a whatever formation is that we are having, like it is a 4-3-3 kind of formation, or like a 5-3-2 kind of formation, or whatever formation we are playing. So first thing is that our ball position is quite good, and our ball play is also that much equally good. Like we are passing the ball well, we are possessing the ball well, and at the same time also we are building the attack, and we are for making the strategy, we are making the formula, means we are making the attack through our wings, we are trying to move forward the forward line, and we are bringing in cross from the wing, and we are trying to create opportunities that way around. And also similarly, there are like long balls being played, we are playing these long passes and all, and we are grabbing the ball well, we are just means at the same time at the similar situation, we are like tackling, and we are also like dribbling that way around, and we are also having that much amount of like sense of not holding the ball for much long or anything. Like previously we used to have see this kind of scenario, like one major striker is there who is trying to create a difference by himself only. He is trying to have the entire possession of the ball for quite a while, or he is trying to move forward with the ball and try to get as much close as he can get to the penalty box area, and then get a strike, and then try to get a goal from that area, and all those things are not that much feasible, because that makes a bit of a means negative kind of a impression, I believe. That once the opponent team also sees that your strategy is like this, that you are the team is trying to create difference with one individual striker, or one individual player is there who is taking the entire amount of responsibility to score the goal from the midfield region onwards. So definitely one defender or two defender, if he is continuously is marking that person, marking that striker, so definitely there is no point that the striker is going to breach that those defenders and all, and the striker is going to score from a distance that way. These things really just don't happen. It may happen for once or something like that, but that is not a strategy that is going to be successful. So now the main concept of like playing break kind of a football, like first thing is that there is no point possessing the ball for a longer amount of time. Like we know that these are the concepts of game, like take the ball, pass the ball, pass the ball, take the ball. So that way around the uh, play the scenario of play being built, and to create attacks, and to also try to score goals. At the similar instance, like defending the means the counter attack, how we are defending it. So our defenders are also pretty good, and there is like Sandesh Jingan and all these players who are like leading the defense, entire defense scenario, and they are like definitely entirely securing the defense line as much as they can. They are holding the defense as much as they can, and they are also means defending with the entire amount of skill and strategy that is required for a defender. So because the most important thing for a defender is to like not only defend, but also to ensure that the way you are defending, the way you are tackling, that never ends up becoming a foul. Because if it is a foul outside the box also, and if it is a foul like in a play, there is a like, if you are stretching your leg for the ball, you are definitely trying to tackle the ball, and that way around the striker is coming in contact with your leg and all. That way the referee is going to allow, and that will be a free kick being awarded. So first thing is that the free kicks are dangerous also. Like if you are creating constant fouls outside the box in the from the hitting region, from the hitting zone of the strikers, and if you are like making this kind of a foul in consistent amount of manner, then definitely the free kicks are going to cost dangerous for the team, and definitely there is a huge amount of chance that the opponent team is going to score from that outside the box free kick area, right? And also there is this thing that the defenders are doing well, is that not to concede like penalties and all. If the defense line is doing this error, like in order to defend, they if they are like making this kind of error and getting into penalties, if the opponent is getting penalties and all, then the goalkeeper has hardly much to do in kind of a penalty situation. And also the goalkeeping situation is also very good. Like we are having top class like goalkeepers now, and the goalkeeping scenario is also like the goalkeeper is also means is the last point of defense, the last line of defense, and the last line of defense is also acting in a perfect manner, like the reflex that the goalkeeper is showing, the no error policy the goalkeeper is something that the goalkeeper needs to ensure. That like in a silly mistake kind of a scenario, if the goalkeeper is doing a silly mistake and all, then we know that that is a means error, and that is going to cost you that much way, that one goal is that is what is required to win a match, right? So there is like goalkeeper, I know Manvinder Singh, and I don't know the exact means I don't remember the name of other goalkeepers of Team India. So one goalkeeper who was playing for Bangalore, I believe, is Gurpreet Singh, or what is the name of the goalkeeper? I am not that much able to recollect, but that is what is the scenario. Now coming to the means how we are defending, how we are attacking, that is one thing that I mentioned. But I still believe that the lacking of the Indian football, the things that we are lacking. So the first thing it is important to understand is like ISL, we are having foreign players, and there are like 4 to 5 foreign players who are playing for each side. So the foreign player concept is completely different. So that is what is important. Like once foreign players are playing in a tournament, so definitely the Indian players are learning a lot from those foreign players. That is nothing that we can deny. It have happened in for the entire like other leagues also, where before ISL also there were foreign players being playing in I League or like other leagues that are played in India. But I don't think that that time around the coaching and everything was that much up to the mark, that the foreign players, the way they are being trained and they are being coached and they are being brought up, their play, their everything is like that much of that much quality. So we are getting the finished product. So if there is a finished product who is having whole lot of skills, and if the Indian players are not having those skills, and you cannot just copy those skills directly into yourself. But now what happens is like the training and the coaching is like also up to that mark, that there are those technicalities, those things that a foreign player is having, and that thing is being trained, and also the coach is providing those training to the young players also. And those young players, once they are playing at par with the foreign players, they know that what the foreign player is doing. So that is what is making the entire development kind of a scenario. But the lacking thing is like the things that we lack in Indian football is basically, I believe, is like the physical fitness and the compatibility and the physical strength of the Indian footballers in comparison to the foreign players and all. So one thing we should remember is like we are in this equatorial region, right? We are in the equator region basically. So in this equator region and in this kind of a climate, the climate plays a huge amount of a whole lot of difference, right? So only if you live apart like Kashmir and the northern part of India, so rest of India we are basically in a very hot zone from the month of March and up to September and all. So that hot and that heat kind of a scenario, and if you keep apart the northeast and all those scenario, all these places, if you are just eliminating, then the entire belt is in a hot kind of a zone. And it is not possible to bring in players only from those northeast regions only, or like on the hilly, or only from the hilly regions. So the players who are coming from the hilly regions and all, they are having good amount of means there is a lot of stamina inside them. They can run a lot, and they can make like whole lot of run they can do, because they are having that much physical adaptability by, as they are means born and their upbringing is in hilly region. So what happens when a player is in hilly region, when a person is born in a hilly region, so the air quality is like thin and all in hills and mountains and all. So the capacity to draw more amount of oxygen, and the respiration and the strength of the lungs and everything is quite means in on the higher side for a person who is in the hilly region, who is basically residing in mountains and all, right? So those players are basically, they are from the means from their birth, they are quite much physically strong in order of running and all. But if you just compare them with physical means structure and their physique, so that way around the physique and everything is quite in a, their height and their body and their structure is like not that much big, or that not that much enormous and all. So once when we are playing against top teams of Asia, so once the counter attack is once the defenders of Iraq, Iran, other teams also, when they are defending, so it is very difficult for those short height means player from the hilly regions and all to just dribble around or to just get away from the defender and all. So they are good for midfielder, they are good for playing the role of wingers to make the process into the box area, so that from that position the striker can move ahead, and then also can make parallel shots, and then try to get into the box and get another cross in, or another square ball in, which the striker can score a goal at that point of time. So now from the other parts of the country we are bringing in players like from Kerala and also from South India and also from Bengal and all, but these players are also having that, means they are their physics and their physique and everything is like they are from this hot, entire hot, means kind of atmosphere, humid kind of atmosphere. So their body is like designed, or they are uh, means particularly from that kind of a, means um, upbringing, and they have been born and brought up in those kind of atmosphere. So they sweat a lot and they really get fatigued a lot, and that sweat and fatigue is something that makes a whole lot of difference, I believe. Because whenever we are playing, whenever we are running in any country or in our country or anywhere, so we basically are like from this kind of a means scenario we have been practiced, we have really evolved from this kind of hot and humid kind of a scenario. So we definitely end up like losing a whole lot of sweat, and we definitely like anyone who is playing football will sweat and all, but that sweat, if it is not you are not recovering at the same time, so that becomes difficult for the player to play with the same kind of energy, with the same kind of potential for the entire 90 minutes, or like if the match stretches post 90 minutes also. So then if you are left fatigued, and yes, substitutes are definitely, substitutes can will be done, like 4 or 5 players will be substituted, but not like entire 10 or 11 players will be substituted. That never happens that way. And there are like key players who needs to hold their means there is this hold their horses, like there is this concept of like having the stamina, having the fuel inside you, having the gas inside you, like to continue for like 120 minutes or till the very end of the match. So there is some kind of a lacking, I believe, is still there, and that is what the young players, the mentoring of the young players, that is very much important to like bring that kind of stamina into a into an individual, so that from the very early context, from the area early beginning of the life, so they are trained in that way, that they are having that much stamina, and they are provided with those kind of proper nutrition, so that their body and everything are designed to means have that strength, but not that much bulk, or not that much amount of extra mass into their body, so that the stamina part is entirely there, but the body is lean and strong, and similarly compatible for football and all, means playing in this hot and practicing in this hot and humid condition of India in our country. So another thing I believe can be a real game changer for Indian football is like we have seen like the means in the FIFA World Cup was played in the Middle East, right? In the Middle East, FIFA World Cup was played in, that was in like Iraq, no, not in Iraq, that was in a Middle East country. So that was held in 20 last year, I believe, that FIFA World Cup was held, and it was in Kuwait, I believe, right? Kuwait was the country. So I exactly don't remember the name at present. I believe it was Kuwait. But in Middle East, the heat, the point what I was trying to mention over here is like the Middle East, the heat is like extreme. So in this extreme heat condition, a tournament like World Cup was being arranged and was held, right? So this tournament of once this World Cup tournament was held in the Middle East, so how it was possible is like basically there was air condition been set up in the stadiums, in the ground, right? So that air conditioning is a real game changer, I believe, that if there is a whole lot of investment for football in our country, and we know that ISLs are also being played from like September onwards, and it stretches up to March and all. So the heat condition prevails and up to like November and all, and after that the December, January, February, it is a cold winter time in India. So that is not the time for us to get concerned with heat, humid conditions and all. But if we are going to bring in more new players who with that much amount of stamina, with that much amount of potential inside them, so I believe like creating air conditioned football ground, stadiums and all is like a very good is going to be a real game changing scenario for that. Because if the in the entire Middle East the World Cup could be played, and that World Cup, despite having the air conditions, still there was heat and all, but that heat was manageable. So that in that manageable heat scenario, the entire World Cup was played in the Middle East, and the players I have seen in the news, like they have mentioned like it is a bit different, like to cope up in the thin air, in this artificial air conditioned air kind of a scenario. But that cope up thing can happen, that cope up thing will definitely happen for players and all. So if that way around air conditioned stadiums are being made, and for experiment if we are making like one or two stadiums at the beginning and we're holding few matches, and we'll see the difference, we'll feel the difference, like players won't, definitely there will be the water break and all for the means the what FIFA have now prescribed, like to hold one water break in one half, definitely, and when the heat is on the higher side and all, and if the heat is manageable, then you can straight away play up to 45 minutes and the extra time for the first half and all. But if the heat is more, then there is definitely requirement of a water break, a cooling break that will come around in the middle portion of the first half, and similarly in the second half also. So that thing, I believe that if the entire funding that is happening, so we can at least have at least one or two air conditioned football stadiums at the beginning, at the very beginning. And then if the feasibility and the costing and everything is permitting us to make new grounds air conditioned also, then we should also think about making other grounds air conditioned in that way, so that the entire set of players and the uh, coaching staffs and everyone, like the substitutes, they are like relieved, and they are also running around the tracks, and substitute players are also getting ready, and they are also holding their nerves that will be coming, and that impact that will be created by a player who will be reaching the ground in like 75 to 80 minutes, and then will be playing for the rest of the match. So that difference is really, we have seen like certain player makes a whole lot of difference once they are substituted, like means only if there is like 15 minutes to spare or 20 minutes to spare, or even if like there is 10 to 8 to 10 minutes to spare or 5 minutes to spare also. So that is what is important, if is like in heat condition and all, if the air conditioned stadium is being provided, so the players will be definitely, I believe, if they are coping well with the thin air and the artificial air kind of a scenario, and that I believe once they practice in these air conditioned stadiums and all, they definitely they will be coping up with it, and they won't be having any problem for that. So that is what is mostly important, and also at the same time the mentorship and the bringing up of players from the individual clubs of ISL. I believe that the clubs should not be focused only for the ISL tournament, but to have the entire means mm, uh, entire 1 year plan, entire year plan for bringing up more players, because we are having so many leagues happening. So like for a club like Mohun Bagan Super Giants, they are playing in so many multiple amount of leagues. Like in Kolkata Premier League, they are bringing in local players only. It is like only Kolkata players are now allowed to play in the Kolkata Premier League, which is something I really support and I really like. And that is something will be those players can definitely move and play into the ISL scenario also. So that way around, and also there should be a separate kind of a committee to bring up players, to like nurture young talents, or definitely parents and all should also think about getting their childrens and all, like after playing, after they have played in other clubs for a while and they are having those talents, so that talent hunting, that thing should happen, that they straight away should get into the means the top teams of ISL in their junior, in their very entry level teams and coachings and all. So that way around we see like in great teams like Barcelona and all, there is this young players are like brought in from like very young age, from like 7 8 years of their age, they are been brought into the means club and all, and they are developed that way around. We have witnessed similar thing happen with Lionel Messi. So Lionel Messi is the greatest of all time, I believe now, and is a goat, means greatest of all time for football. And I really means feel astonished like how he has been performing so great in his entire career and all. So his physical means height and everything, his structure and everything is in the shortest right. So who have watched this documentary of Take the Ball, Pass the Ball knows that a whole lot of people discouraged like to his parents and everyone, like you can't expect like him to become a footballer. Whatever passion he holds for the game, that is one thing, but the physical means structure and the physical uh, compatibility, the strength the person needs to have to play football, that is something we don't think that he would be capable of playing means making football as a career, or to make a big name in football. but everyone was proved wrong, and there is a whole lot of contribution coming in from the Barcelona Football Club. Therefore, means we can see footages and means videos of young means Lionel Messi being a kid who is practicing in the Barcelona football ground, and how he's practicing at that young age, how he's dribbling at that young age. Because we mentioned similar thing to like talents from our northeast or like hilly mountain regions. So if that is like, if you're physically, you are not that strong, or you don't have that much height and all, so then also if you are like strong, we know like another legend Diego Maradona, he was also not a very tall person, he was also a short person, but he was also a legend of the game. That time around, there was no concept of mentioning of someone as a goat, as the greatest of all time. But yes, definitely, if that word, that particular word of greatest of all time, goat, used to prevail at that time, so I believe people would have mentioned means Maradona to be the goat at that time also. So that is what I am trying to mention, is like, oh, means if there is something lacking or something is like physical fitness, and physical means not fitness, the physical structure and the body, and if it is short and it is not that bulky or not that heavy. So if you are still having that talent, and if you are still having that stamina, and there is this ability to like dribble, and the ability to like dodge the defender with the skill, and skill is something that can definitely overcome like the strength of a defender, or the where the defender is defending, the ability, the capability to like dribble around, and to, that is something that can be developed. And once that is developed to a certain extent, then we know that the physical means the we can say the physical deficiencies, we can mention it that way. It is not a deficiency, but the physical limitations basically that are having of height, or like structure, or like body weight, or everything, that can definitely be countered. And that is something we have all witnessed from Lionel Messi and all. And also like Sunil Chhetri, we can see our Indian legend, Indian goat, Sunil Chhetri also. He is also not a very tall guy. He is from the means the mountain area of like Sikkim and somewhere. So he is also he has also scored so many goals, and he is the greatest goal scorer. I believe he's the number of goals he has scored for the country is like just after Lionel Messi also, I believe. So that is one stat that is very important. So Sunil Chhetri have taken retirement from the international football scenario of India, and now there is the new players need to come up, and new players need to definitely take play means fill the shoes for Sunil Chhetri. And also there is the importance to create means we would definitely want like more Sunil Chhetris to be created, and entirely a great Indian football team would come up, I believe. And in the future, and definitely we will be qualifying for football World Cup like in a tenure of like, I believe, 15 to 20 years. That is what I personally believe. Like after 15 years, or like more than 10 years, till up to 20 years, there will be time that we will be qualifying definitely for the football World Cup, and will be definitely playing in the World Cup football, right? So that is what is the topic of today's video. So today I am ending the video over here. So definitely whoever have watched the video, definitely do comment on the video, and like the videos, and share the videos, and do definitely subscribe to my channel for more and more videos on sports and current affairs, and like other topics, any other topics, whatever comes into my mind, whatever is there that I believe would be a good topic to discuss around. So I will be making another new video, and I will be uh, again back very shortly. So everyone, take care, bye bye for the time being. Have a great life ahead, and take care, bye bye.